A narcissist's cell phone is their lifeline and their way to reach their narc harem. The phone is how a narcissist finds and controls pretty much every source of supply that they find. What I want to do in this video is talk about some of the most popular apps that narcissists are using on their phones, and I also want to use some examples and talk about how narcs use them in order to keep the supply flowing at all times. So let's get into number 1, Snapchat. Snapchat is, of course, one of only a million free downloadable apps that can be used to send messages, photos, voice, and video chat. Snapchat is valuable to narcissists because, well, firstly, you can have a username and you can be pretty anonymous on there if you want to be. Secondly, Snapchat has some pretty shady features that narcs love. You can actually go through message settings with each person that you're talking to, and you can choose a setting that will actually delete all of your messages 24 hours after you've sent them and viewed them. Not to mention, you can just go on ahead and delete the thread entirely if you want to do that after you have finished the conversation, and you just keep the person on your friends list, but the conversation is nowhere to be found. Sending photos on Snapchat is also very popular. It's just called sending snaps. Makes sense. However, after you've seen a person's photo or they've seen yours respectively, you can only view it so many times. Snapchat makes hiding things very easy. And we know for the opportunistic people like narcissists, that's right up their alley. This is obviously so valuable for them. Messages automatically deleting, no saved photos. A narc could hand you their phone with a smile on their face, only for you to find completely innocuous messages and nothing bad because the app has deleted all of the dirtiness for them. Any chat app is really a great way to build and maintain a narc harem. A person could have 8 or 800 people on their Snapchat. I don't use it. I can't speak to it a great deal, but I do know that Snapchat tops the list for apps used by narcissists who are trying to carry on a lot of conversations. Number 2, WhatsApp. Another free texting, chatting, calling app. I don't know why we need so many of these apparently, but we do. WhatsApp is pretty close to Snapchat, but not entirely. It does have that same disappearing messages feature that Snapchat does, and actually the same can be done with photos and videos. You can have those disappear as well. Yet another way, another free app for a narc to manage their harem, send provocative photos and videos, and more. WhatsApp is also valuable because it allows you to keep different people on different apps. Obviously, the more the merrier. Some can go to Snapchat, other people can get filed away onto WhatsApp, and a narc can funnel through and put people where they want them, into categories. Even if a narcissist maybe might not feel the need to, they're going to use them all. WhatsApp is also pretty commonly used by professionals and companies and things like that. Snapchat is much more just casual, but that's also a really great excuse for narcs to why they need to have WhatsApp on their phone. Snapchat is fun and casual for friends, and WhatsApp is for work. 2 great excuses to have 2 of the worst apps when it comes to cheating and hiding a narc harem. Number 3, Tinder and other dating sites. I can't speak for all dating apps. I frankly haven't been on all of them because I don't want to be, but I notice an odd trend with at least 2 of them. A few years ago, I downloaded Bumble and a couple of other apps that I never went on, but I was working on a video I wanted to do for my channel. I was going to attempt a social experiment and I wanted to do a video on it, but it just never came to be. That's not the point. But when I was making a profile on Bumble, I found that there was a setting where you could choose to look for available people to date, romantically, or you could click a little button that says, yes, I'm on Bumble, but I'm just looking for friends. I've also heard that Facebook dating, if that's even still a thing, I don't know, this was years ago, but I heard Facebook dating had this feature, or they did at one time. And this seems to be becoming a trend where people are going on dating sites and clicking this friends only option. Or They're making a profile, looking for other supply, looking for romantic interest, but they're telling other people that they're just on it to make friends. Of course, when the possibility of them being confronted, for cheating, the narc is just going to say, "Oh, I'm just looking for friends. I'm just looking for people who share common interests." On top of all the dating apps, there are legit apps that offer friendship over relationships. For some people, like narcissists, this is incredibly useful. A whole new buffet line has just opened up for them. Keep in mind, not all narcissistic supply is romantic. Lots of people suffer narcissistic abuse under the guise of just friends. I don't think that seeing these apps on people's phones is really a bad thing. Not all people that are using these are narcissistic, but most narcs are hip to these apps and have very good excuses why they need every single one of them. Dealing with narcissistic abuse can be incredibly challenging, and traditional therapy doesn't always suit everyone's needs. That's why I offer a flexible phone chat service that is tailored to fit anyone's busy lifestyle. You'll connect with me, someone who genuinely understands what you're going through. My service is extremely relaxed and affordable. I create a supportive environment that feels more like a conversation between friends than like a formal, stiff, cold, just yucky therapy session. We'll share experiences as fellow survivors. I'll provide practical tips that are designed for whatever it is that you're going through. I have a highly empathic approach. I validate your experiences, and I'm also good to just be a listening ear that every survivor needs. If you have any questions or you want to learn more, don't hesitate to reach out to me. All the ways to reach out are on the screen for you now. I'm a phone call away, ready to support you on your path to healing. Number 4, Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Honorable mentions go out to LinkedIn, YouTube, Snapchat, of course, Pinterest, and so on. Social media is a whole different way for narcs to advertise themselves. Most of these social media platforms have the texting and the calling and all of that stuff, but their actual profiles on things like Instagram and Facebook are much more public. Yet again, more buffet lines, more lines in the water to meet more people, more places for narcs to find and cultivate those supply sources they so desperately need. They can post publicly, and with one simple photo to Instagram, they can make one person sad, another person jealous, make their ex angry, and lure in a new person simultaneously with one picture. They can broadcast their new supply, for example, and build up their new partner, make them think everything's great, all the while hoping or knowing their ex is going to get a glimpse of that and feel terrible about themselves. All of the social media madness, getting clicks, views, hearts, and likes, of course, goes to boost the narcissist's very fragile self-esteem. Now, I'm not saying at all that only narcs use social media, because that's not true at all. What I'm saying is that narcissists use these tools to go to work for them and garner the results that they want. I mean, how could this not be tempting for a narcissist? So many people in one place on the other end of their phone. Social media is also a really great way for narcs to meet people who live really far away, and therefore they can carry on long-distance relationships. Long distance is great for someone narcissistic. It adds another supply to the harem, and it's so low investment. If they don't want to talk, they put the phone down and go do something else, and there's nothing anyone can do about it. You can post and message and chat with people all across the world. You can love bomb them, suck them in, and actually get them into committed relationships. And the narcissist will never meet this person and never plan to meet him. A narcissist can be sitting next to their spouse on the sofa, watching a lame TV show together in who the hell knows where, Minnesota, and be texting their boyfriend or girlfriend, respectively, who lives in Norway. You have no idea. That's what's happening. All of these apps allow narcs to spend so much time texting and calling with so many different people, and they can do it flawlessly. If you live with a narcissist, for example, you might not even know that they're carrying on with half a dozen other people. They walk out the door in the morning for work after giving you a kiss goodbye, and on their 25-minute ride to work, they're talking to someone else on the phone, texting 4 or 5 different people on their lunch break, and calling a different source of supply on the way home. And you have no idea. All you know is they got up and went to work, and they get a paycheck, so you know they were there. And here they are talking to 6, 7 other people, and maybe even you as well. This works so well to make people think that they're the one and only that a narcissist is dealing with. Narcissists can be very alluring and seductive over social media and on the dating apps. They can use all of this to maintain the control by guilt-tripping people, gaslighting people, love bombing them, luring them in, using posts and other things to cause jealousy, triangulation, and the like. Number 5, Calculator Pro Plus. I have to mention this one briefly because it's a hidden or secret app that looks like a calculator, but it's a texting app. It's yet another Snapchat, whatever the hell. I don't know too much about it, but I'm also sure that there are more like this out there. This is just the one that I kept seeing over and over again as I've been researching some of these things. I read about some apps used for cheating, and this one is always like number 1. So all kinds of scandalous stuff is happening on Calculator Pro Plus. And it's just really interesting because if you do get a hold of their phone, you would never even think to click on a calculator. I have to add in here, before I get the comments that I don't want to get, that I don't condone taking a phone that belongs to somebody else and going through it. By the time that you think that you need to see what's in there, you already have enough information to know that something bad is happening, or you just don't like the way something is making you feel. And that's all you need, is to know that something doesn't feel right. Don't get yourself upset and hurt by looking for stuff that you don't want to find. And I know some people think they want to find it. They need to know, they need to see, and I'm telling you, as somebody who saw, really, you don't. I looked, I hunted, and I found what I really didn't want to. All it did was confirm what I already knew and was frankly in denial about. And honestly, what I personally saw, Survivor, made me quite sick. So you don't want to see what messed up stuff these people are doing on their phones. When it comes to cheating, not all narcissists are technically cheating, quote unquote, but to know narcissism and know the disorder is to know that narcs have large groups of people at their disposal. It's called a narcissistic harem, and I've referenced it in this video. One person is never going to be enough. These people are so incredibly needy. They all have harems of various sizes, but they all have one. They're having emotional affairs, or they're leading people on with the possibility of a relationship at some point, and in the moment just friend zoning them. This is a disorder where there needs to be more than one person around because the narcissist has so many wants and needs, and it's all the responsibility of others. I did want to talk about the apps, but also how they work to keep a narcissist rolling in supply that's never going to stop. I read an article the other day that said 5.1 billion people are active on some sort of social media. So that's something to think about. What apps do you think that narcs use the most? Tell me down in the comments. Thanks so much for listening. Have a great day, Survivor, and take care of yourself.